Hello, my friend. I got a question for you. What makes you snap? What pushes your buttons? What puts you over the edge? You know, all those hyperbole things we say about that moment where we get so angry, we lose our mind. For me, growing up, it was my brother Kerry. Great guy, very close now, but he was my older brother by 6 or 7 years, and I was scrawny and he was tough, and I was irritating and awkward. And every once in a while, he would get under my skin. He'd tease me, he'd mock me, he'd joke, and then I would snap. And I go, I'm going to beat him up. I can remember as a kid just plowing into him, and the second I hit him, going, this was a stupid mistake. I didn't think this through. He's so much bigger than me. And he would, inject pain into my life like big brothers can. The point about all this is when you and I lose control of our anger, we get very, very stupid. There's a researcher out there. His name is R. Douglas Fields. He calls this the rage circuit. And he says, like, whenever our life and limb is threatened or our family is threatened or our resources are threatened, there's a thing in our brain that could trigger and we go into immediate anger mode. Now, this is very, 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 very good in life or death situations. It's very, very bad in real life situations. Literally, all of the adrenaline and cortisol and other hormones that go into your brain when you are triggered like that make you think stupid. This is what Jesus had to say in Matthew 5:21 and 22. He said, "You have heard it said, 'Do not murder.' But I tell you, everyone who is angry with his brother or sister will be subject to judgment." Now, we could say, oh, this is just hyperbole. No, I think Jesus is telling us a very important truth. Anger, unchecked, can be very destructive. He's not teaching that anger is always evil. In fact, Paul later says, in your anger, do not sin. And we see Jesus get angry several times. He's saying anger that is unchecked is very problematic. So Freud, you know that guy, Freud, he said there's a thing called ventilated anger. There's a thing called, let's see, what's the technical term? He says catharsis hypothesis. What it means is Freud thought we were jars and all this bad comes in and we'd have to overflow. We have to get it out. And so counselors kind of took a hold of this. And in the 50s and 60s, they gave people foam bats and they hit the couches in their offices and they kicked the couches and they screamed. And they thought, if I could get the anger out, I would feel better. Along comes science. Science said, let's validate this. Let's see if the catharsis hypothesis is true. So they ran all these experiments on people, and what they discovered is this. The more you vented anger, the more it became easy for you to have anger. In other words, we are not jars that get filled with stuff that we have to let out. We're pathways. And the more we groove those pathways, the easier those pathways become to go down. So here's the thing. This is why Paul says, whatever's good and right and noble, think about that stuff. My friend, here's the thing. It's not allowing anger to overtake our life. It's to be more like God. How's God? He's not blow up anger. He's not no anger. He's slow anger. Today, think about the things that frustrate you. And see if you can't become the sort of person who says, anger unchecked is destructive. I'm going to slow my anger down. I'm going to think godly thoughts. And I'm going to respond in my anger in a non-sinful, constructive, reconciliatory way.